In sports, most superstars are usually prodigies and early starters, but there are always exceptions to the rule. Some professional athletes are late bloomers and still manage to reach the top in their sports. What are their incredible stories? Why didn't they begin or achieve fame until late life? What were their achievements? Well, stay with me to find out 10 successful sports stars who peaked late. First up, we have Oscar Swan. Three-piece suit, a derby hat, rifle in hand, and a glorious flowing beard that would give Gandalf a run for his money. That is the image of Oscar Swan the world would always remember. The Swedish shooter was a living, walking testimony that you are never too old to realize your dreams or win an Olympic gold medal. In 1908, Swan competed at the Olympics in London and won gold medals in the single-shot running deer event and team shooting event. He also won bronze in the running deer double shot to cap his wins at 2 gold medals and won bronze. He competed again in 1912 at the age of 64 and won his 3rd Olympic gold medal and a bronze medal. Interestingly, he lost the single-shot running deer event to his son Alfred Swan, but no worries. He took home the record of oldest Olympic gold medalist. He would compete again after World War I at age 72, becoming the oldest Olympian record he still holds today. You would think that when he was not competing at the Olympics, he hung out at the John Wick, but Swan's life was pretty ordinary. He worked as a clerk for Sweden's first news agency, Svenska Telegrambyrån. Second on our list is Dikembe Mutombo. Dikembe Deke Mutombo did not grow up wanting to be a basketball player. Instead, he wanted to be a doctor. Played soccer and practiced martial arts as a kid. It was not until the Congolese American was 16 that he began to shoot hoops. Even more, he only played the game as a hobby until he got into Georgetown University and was recruited by legendary coach John Thompson. Considered one of the best NBA defenders of all time, he's a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year winner. He's also a Hall of Famer, and together with fellow Hall of Famer Alonzo Mourning formed Thompson's Twin Tower lineup during his college basketball days. Dikembe's philanthropy is also well known. In 2007, he opened the Biombe Mutombo Hospital, Kinshi's first new hospital in 40 years, as at the time. Besides philanthropy, Dikembe is also a polyglot and can speak French, English, Spanish, Portuguese, and 5 Central African dialects. Coming back to recent years, we have Li Na. Although Li Na began playing tennis when she was 8, she only gained fame in the latter part of her career. Her late bloom is partially due to her rocky career in China and inconsistency. She's retired thrice, with the latest retirement in 2022 looking to be her final exit from the game. Regardless, she's one of the most accomplished tennis players in recent history. She's the first Asian to win a Grand Slam and has 2 Grand Slam titles under her belt. Both she won after clocking 29 years, making her a solid late bloomer. As a former world number 2 and Hall of Famer, she's inspired many young Asian tennis players and left a big void to be filled. Next up, Fauja Singh. When a man has nicknames like Turbaned Tornado and Sikh Superman, you can only expect him to be extraordinary, and Fauja Singh hits the mark quite well. The British Sikh marathon runner ran his last marathon at age 101 years old. It is nothing short of extraordinary. Before his fame in Great Britain, Fauja Singh was a Punjabi farmer in India. According to him, he could not walk properly or walk for long until he was 5 years old because his legs were too skinny to bear his weight. He took up running later in life to combat depression after the death of his wife, son, and daughter. However, it was not until he was 89 years old that he tried to be a professional marathon runner and took up training under his coach, Hardwinder Singh. His first marathon was the London Marathon in 2000. Although he is widely considered the oldest man to ever run a marathon, his records are not acknowledged by the Guinness World Records. He was born in 1911, but at that time, British India did not issue birth certificates, so he could not prove to Guinness World Records that he was that age. Nevertheless, he is still legendary. At number 5 is Megan Rapinoe. 2019 was definitely Megan's year. She led the United States women's national team to win the World Cup, won Ballon d'Or Feminine, and 20 2019 FIFA Best Female Player, although she began playing soccer at a young age, she is a late bloomer in fame as she did not get international attention until her 30s. She began playing soccer professionally in the defunct Women's Professional Soccer League and moved to the new National Women's Soccer League after its predecessor folded up. She joined the national team and was part of the team that won the World Cup in 2015, but her fame did not come until 2019. Her vibrant personality, outspokenness, and exceptional talent have turned Megan into a sports icon. Besides being celebrated as an activist, she's also a role model for gay people. She was awarded the 2022 Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Joe Biden. Sixth on the list is Randy Johnson. One of MLB's greatest late bloomers, Randy Johnson had an incredibly slow start to his rise to fame. He was a below-average pitcher in the first half of his career and had several mediocre performances, standing at 6'10", lanky, and left-handed. He would transform himself into an eye-catching figure in the field by the time he turned 31. 1993 was the breakout year for the big unit as he reached all-star status, but 1995 was the year he became a superstar. He led the Mariners to their first ever division title in playoffs. In that year, he also won his first Cy Young award. He would later leave the M's for the Arizona Diamondbacks and lead them to 4 Cy Young seasons. Over an illustrious 22-year career, Randy would win 303 games and secure a lifetime ERA of 3.29 and 4,875 strikeouts. Can this list be completed without Tim Duncan, arguably the greatest power forward in NBA history? Tim Duncan is one of the most recognizable names in the game. He's won almost every achievement from MVPs to All-Stars to Hall of Fame. With his natural process on the court, it's difficult to imagine him wanting to be a freestyle swimmer as a kid. Inspired by his sisters Cheryl and Trisha, Duncan inspired to be an Olympic swimmer in his teens. Trisha had competed in the 1988 Olympics and Duncan wished for similar fame. Hurricane Hugo ended the dream when it destroyed his school's team, swimming pool, and encouraged by his brother-in-law, Duncan began to play basketball. He caught the interest of Wake Forest University coach Dave Odom when he played Hall of Famer Alonzo Mourning to a draw in a pickup game. He subsequently played Wake Forest Demon Deacons during his college year and spent his entire NBA career at San Antonio Spurs. Boxing its way into number 3 is Rocky Marciano. Rocky remains the only heavyweight champion that recorded no defeats during his career. He recorded 49 wins and 43 knockouts. A stellar performance from a man that did not begin boxing until he was 25 years old. Growing up, Ricky wanted to be a baseball player, but he had to suspend his dreams when he was drafted into the Army during World War II. It was in the Army he began boxing and even won an amateur boxing championship. He had his first professional fight in 1947, but still held hopes of becoming a baseball player. He tried out for Chicago's Fayetteville Cubs, but failed to secure a spot on the team. He returned to boxing and the rest? Well, that's history. Before knocking out Joe Walcott to win his first professional championship, he had a winning streak of 6 games leading up to the championship match. He would go on to defend the heavyweight title 6 times and remained undefeated. Next, we have Kurt Wagner. Touted as the greatest undrafted player in NFL history, Kurt Wagner's rise to fame was a delightful Cinderella story. He passed over in the 1994 NFL Draft and finished college as an undrafted free agent. While waiting for NFL tryouts, he worked for $5.50 an hour at a grocery store. It was at age 28 that he finally came into the spotlight, so how did he become a 2-time MVP and Super Bowl MVP? In the 1999 NFL season, while playing for St. Louis Rams, he was picked as a substitute for Trent Green, who suffered an injury in the preseason. His relatively unknown status before starting for Trent made his stellar performance of 41 touchdowns and 4,333 yards legendary. He led the Rams to win the Super Bowl XXIV, and his offense that season was nicknamed the greatest show on turf. And finally, we have Deontay Wilder. As a man who breaks his own hands during training, Deontay's an absolute beast in the ring, considering one of the highest knockout boxers of all time. The Bronze Bomber's averaged over 90% in knockouts during his career. This figure is astounding given his relatively short time in the sport. Deontay Wilder began boxing at age 20 and did not begin boxing professionally until he was 23. In terms of boxing, he's a late bloomer. At 36, he fought in 45 bouts with 42 wins under his belt and has recorded only 1 loss. He has won an Olympic bronze medal and a World Heavyweight Championship. For a man whose career choices as teen were football or basketball, he's done very well for himself. But we're gonna have to draw the curtain here on another top-notch video, my friends. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and click to the bell to be notified about our latest updates. Have any other late bloomers in mind that you think we should have had on the list? Well, let us know in the comment section. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.